This is Mark Johnson for the Beck and Joey Show. My wife is off to the side. Let me do that again, off to the side. Over there somewhere. Say hi, Moo.
Hi.
Like, say it like you're a bear.
Hi.
Say it like you're a victorious gladiator.
Hi.
That was a pirate, yeah. Say it like you're Snow White.
Hi.
Say it like you're Popeye. Anyways, that was a minute of my time, but that will get more laughter and views than anything I've ever done. Yeah. Anyways, that was Melissa, my wife, lovely wife. She's putting on her face, so she doesn't want me to show her. Okay. This is Mark Johnson for the Beck and Joey Show. The Beck and Joey Show. I don't know what I'm doing. So some announcements and then a little brief autobiography? No? Well, a little thing. I'm going to talk about how the Beck and Joey thing came to be and how it morphed into what it is now. The announcement, the interviews and the comic strips and the art lessons are just becoming a bit much for me. I'm going to I might start next week with old comic strips from the very beginning and kind of do those in a series. Certainly, I've got stuff from 1998, so I've got enough that you guys can start from the beginning and go a while. And you probably some things you haven't seen because there's brand new people. By the way, thank you to all those people who have joined lately. Appreciate everything that you have said and the love that you show me. So I just appreciate it. So that. So I'm gonna still do an original comic strips, but I'm gonna back off a little bit and just get them out there when I can. The interviews, same thing, and the art lessons. I don't know. I will continue doing them if I can figure out how to do it and it looked good. It's not been. Avery did an excellent job, but the presentation of it was not the best thing I've ever done. So now that's that. Lindsay Warner is my next guest when I get to whatever Wednesday is going to be posted on. She's my next guest. She's from Mount Gilead. She recently moved back to Mount Gilead. She's an amazing singer, like stuff that could be on a record type. Amazing, correct. Anyways, she's amazing. So that's going to be this coming Wednesday, which will be what date, honey? Today's the what? 15th?
19th.
Today it will be the 19th. Either 19th or next Wednesday, the Wednesday after that. Okay. The Beck and Joey Show, how it came to be and how it morphed to what it is. I remember in 1998, I had done comic stuff before that, just little bits here and there. I did a drawing of my high school principal's head, a caricature, and on the front I drew him with he was kind of balding. It made his head a little larger than it should have been. On the back of the paper, I drew the same drawing, but without a skeletal type thing, a skull, with I'll see if I can find it and scan it and put it on here. But there was no brain in there. It was just some peanuts and I think a bug of some sort, some spider web. Oh, it's probably a spider. So when you held the drawing up to the light, you could see the portrait and through the portrait to the back, and you could see what was in his head. He was a great guy, but at the time I didn't think so. So I did stuff like that. But then in '98, I showed my mom this rabbit and this pig. A drawing I did, a rabbit and a pig. The pig, I tried to get the last pickle out of the jar of pickles, and he ended up in the jar. And Beck was sitting there saying, well, I'll put it right here so you can read it. Next time you need help with getting the last pickle, let me know. And that was Beck and Joey. I had always had trouble getting pickles out of a jar. Like the last one just squirmed out of the way. You cannot grab it. with a fork, with your fingers, whatever. It's impossible. So I thought that would be funny to draw. My mom, Peggy Johnson, she's passed on now, but she uh, thought it was really funny, and she was like she's my hero. In my late teens and early 20s, I gave her some grief, um, and I wish I could say I'm sorry about that to her. She's just my hero, and she was very creative. She played piano. She could sing beautifully. She created, like when I say original Halloween costumes, I mean original. Uh, there was nothing purchased from a store. Not that that's bad, but she just would go all out making us costumes. So she just was very amazing like that. And she did poetry, wonderful poetry. My brother put together, and this is his art and everything. He's amazing. Kitchen Table Fables, the poetry of Peggy Ann Johnson. I'm reading it backwards, is why I'm stumbling. Let me read you this one. She's got one for me. She's got one for every kid that she had. The Mighty Buffalo. Here's The Mighty Buffalo by Peggy Ann Johnson. In the darkness, way down deep. Listen very carefully to what she's saying. In the darkness, way down deep, lies the Indian warrior. He waits and waits and waits and waits for this day till tomorrow. He seeks the mighty buffalo. On this his living hangs. When he finds him, you will know, for you'll hear his arrow twang. But the clever buffalo is always to his back. The mighty one will not be caught, for he leaves no tell-tale track. This always puzzles people when I read it to them, or when she didn't read her poetry much, but when it got read, we found out it's about a buffalo nickel, a buffalo coin, whatever, nickel or $50, whatever it is, in the darkness. That's the pocket, way down deep in the pocket. An Indian warrior, that's one side. He seeks the mighty buffalo. The buffalo's on the other side. But the clever buffalo is always to his back. They're back, one's on one side, one's on the other. So he'll never be caught, for he leaves no tell-tale track. It's just extremely clever. That was who my mom was. Creative, clever, beautiful, everything you'd want in a mom, and more. So when she laughed at my my Beck and Joey drawing, I thought this might be something that other people would laugh at. So I started doing some more drawings during that year. I was teaching at that time, and I just started sharing them. People thought they were funny, and eventually I started getting kind of a little bit, I guess, tired and needing to do something else. So I started the Darker Ages, which is about cave people. That was kind of like taking the humor of Jack Lolis and me. Jack is an extremely gifted guy. He's musically gifted. He's extremely funny. But he's just a quick story about Jack Lolis and his humor. We were in high school sitting in class, and the teacher wasn't getting any responses back from the class. So the teacher goes, "Come on, kids, you guys, give me some feedback." And it was just quiet. And then Jack, out of the blue, very loudly goes, which is, if you know feedback, that's, for a musician, that's where the music begins a loop from your guitar to the speaker back to your guitar. It just makes this terrible sound. That was what Jack thought about when the guy said, "Give me some feedback." So that's Jack. We love taking the old standard jokes, like, "I just flew in from Los Angeles and boy are my arms tired." That's a stupid but funny joke. We would take those, and we thought it was funny to make them totally ordinary. And that's how we got our kicks. Like, "Boy, I just flew in from Los Angeles, and the tickets have gone up quite a bit." My wife's just doing nothing. That's surprising. She doesn't think it's funny.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No. So I would take those stupid jokes and try to approach it in that manner with the Darker Ages. And the idea is, you got the Dark Ages, and then you got the Darker Ages, which is further back, where those nomad people type existed. So just stupid jokes I made stupider, and then uh, the other stuff I did didn't have it. It didn't fit into any category. So I decided to jam all that stuff into one category, which was um, the world according to me. That's where I put anything I don't know where it should go. Um, and at some point, I just decided it would be neat to take Beck and Joey and have them be the host of of the comic strips, like a late night TV show, like a Johnny Carson or Jay Leno or whoever, and Beck and Joey would be the host. In the beginning, that's kind of like what it was, where there was little commercials. Beck and Joey would introduce the next comic. Uh, there was the sponsor brought to you by the good people at Beck and Joey, the Beck and Joey show. Um, so that's kind of how it morphed into the Facebook kind of thing. I thought if my mom would laugh at it and people around me might laugh, then maybe some people on Facebook would think it's funny. Um, and I guess the next thing would be my goals for the Beck and Joey show. Um, I think two things. One would just be to continue on Facebook and maybe move also to YouTube. I love people smiling. I don't know if it's because I love people smiling or I love the feeling I get from people smiling. But either way, people smile because of what I do. So I really like that. And to get paid, to get paid for that would be like an ultimate goal, because Facebook doesn't pay you anything. But the smiles are great. So go to Facebook, get something coming in from that. And then the ultimate thing was suggested by my wife, Melissa, which would be a Beck and Joey animated series. I don't have that's not one of my gifts. I think I could learn. I've animated a little bit of stuff, but what, like every second of time you see in a cartoon, there's 20 drawings. Think about that. But when she suggested that, I thought, yeah, that'd be awesome, a Beck and Joey actual animated series. So that's kind of like where Beck and Joey came from, where it is, and where I'd like it to be. I appreciate you guys watching this. It's been 19 minutes and it's been 20 minutes. So thank you. I really do appreciate the likes, the comments, and the share. Excuse me, the shares. Remember, tomorrow we've got Beck and Joey Funny. Hopefully a new one. And then Wednesday or next Wednesday we've got Lindsay Warner, a beautiful singer. And then we'll see what happens in the future. So thank you guys. I love you guys, and bye-bye.